So if we are clear so far, we can move ahead with our next learning about focusing on specific issue. Now we are going to address this A, that is analysis using Power BI. What does it mean? What is the meaning of Power BI? What this Power BI tool is all about? So Power BI tool is going to help you in implementing, like there are some specific keywords that we use for this Power BI things. Because Power BI is a kind of tool that is referred as visualization tool, which is referred as business intelligence tool, which is referred as ETL tool. There are some keywords that we use for this Power BI. What are those keywords that we use? Let's just try to understand that particular thing. What are those names? This is a BI tool. This is a visualization tool. This is a ETL tool. Because Power BI is considered as a tool for data analysis that can help you at every stage of your data analysis process. For all of the tasks of a data analyst, you can use Power BI tool because it is a combination of BI related things, visualization things, and ETL things. So whatever you need is given to you under one roof. That means everything now can be easily learned under one roof. And one of the reason why Power BI is popular is Power BI has the easiest learning curve and the most flexible architecture. That means you have to understand its architecture as well. But before jumping into the architecture, I just have introduced one more name that this tool is an standalone application, or I can say service, to perform all tasks of a data analyst. If any data analyst need to perform his or her tasks, then they can rely on using this Power BI tool. In 2015, Microsoft has announced that now we are announcing a standalone application for doing all of your tasks related to data analyst for your data analysis. So now important question over here is we are using this keyword data analyst. What this data analyst is about. What is the meaning of this? Unless we understand our role, because every tool is meant for somebody. Like the target audience of Power BI is someone who is working as a data analyst, so that it will be easy for them to perform their task using this tool. So we have to understand this part. What is the meaning of data analyst? From where this particular term is coming in? What is the meaning of this data? So our journey in understanding the background of whole Power BI things, to understand from where this Power BI got introduced and how it will be helpful for you, you have to understand your journey is going to start from the data. We will be focusing on understanding this data part. Then on that data, we will do some analysis, and then we will understand that how data analyst role got introduced. So our journey is to understand what is data. If we try to define data, it's really tough. Reason being, we don't get the right choice of words because we feel like how we can define data. Like data is data, right? We have data. That means anything is data. So we get some like formal of words over there that how we can define data. So just to define it in the more easy way, we can call it as raw facts. All of those raw facts can be termed as data. And when these raw facts are clubbed together, it will create information for you. So be sure that your information is not data. Information is made up of data. So when your raw facts are clubbed together, then only it will become information for you. If I will simply mention like Marcia, I will mention Australia, I will mention uh, services, anything. So individual things are not making sense unless I will connect them. If I say Raushan, I'll say 511, and let's say I'll mention 27, I'll mention India. All of these things are individual things are not making sense. But the moment you connect all of the dots, then only you will be able to understand that we are talking about a person detail. So that is how we used to define the things that information is made up of data. Data is just the raw facts that we have. So whenever we have data in hand, we can work with how many types of data exactly? Like any raw fact that I have, I need to know, is there any types of data possible or it's just I can say raw format of data is just a data? So answer is no. Depending upon how you are treating this raw fact, it is classified into three types of data. What are those three types? You have structured data, you have semi-structured data, and you have unstructured data. These are the three types of data that we can classify. And based on that, different storage will be used because structured data are a special type of data that is meant to be stored inside a relational tables. So if you are storing some data in the form of a table in rows and columns, so that kind of data is termed as structured data. So if I have any data that is compatible to be fitted inside the table format, which can be stored in the rows and columns, then that kind of data is considered as structured. If I have some sort of data which cannot be stored in the form of a structure, is called as unstructured data. For example, all of your images, your documents, your video files, your audio file. So all of these things where you cannot fit these things in the form of a table in rows and columns. And that is why they are termed as unstructured data. And something lying in between is termed as semi-structured. Like for example, your XML documents, your CSV files, your web search result, your JSON content. So these kind of files are termed as your semi-structured data. If I give you different words for the same, here we used to call it as fixed schema. If I will fix the schema, like I will say I have a table with A, B, C, D, only 4 columns needed to be entered. You will be entering those 4 columns only, and like 4 entries for me. You have to tell me the name, mobile number, email address, and employee ID. That's it, nothing else. So only these 4 details. So you must have worked with your databases in the organization. So we used to define the schema at the start only, which says you need to fill up these 5 things. You have to enter these 5 details. So that kind of data where schema is fixed, we call it as a structured data, which works with your relational databases. All of your relational database management systems like SQL, Oracle, all of these things. While these unstructured data are talking about no schema. We don't have any kind of schema for your unstructured data because it doesn't make sense to define the schema. It is meant for unstructured way of storing the data. While something in between, it is termed as flexible schema. So flexible schema is a way of handling your data in more flexible way. So you can handle your data in a like flexible schema of structure, like your CSV files. If I have a comma separated values, I can say A, comma B, comma C. In the next line, I can say 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. So I can add more entries because it's just a comma separated values. It is having some sort of schema because I'm using a pattern, but the pattern can be like rotated in between, right? I can add more entries. So if I will structure the same thing in the form of a table, just this part is going to be null or blank. So be really sure that it can contain multiple entries. It is having a flexible schema structure for us. So that kind of format you can develop. So in total, we can have these types of data like to which we will be working in. So we need to understand what this data is about. In terms of data analyst, data meant raw facts. Where these raw facts will be clubbed together, it will create information for me. The data can be classified into 3 important categories: your structured data, your unstructured data, and semi-structured data that we have in hand. Are we clear with these things?